Hello everyone. Today we will be looking at the martial faction. As you can see, our faction doesn't look very strong, and we have only two fully awakened characters, Nana and Clint. In the current game realities, I wouldn't give Clint a full awakening either, but let's talk about everything in order. Remember to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on new videos. We talked about Nimbus in the video about the elemental faction. Let's focus on one of the top game supports, Miracle Clara. She has an ultimate that heals, an attack buff, and lifesteal, as well as stun control. These abilities make her a great addition to any team. Her main strength is her ability to grant immortality to her entire team once per battle, making her a worthy character for a full awakening. Some players use a ferret as her pet, while others give her a nine-tailed fox, which also works well. Nana. She is also a great asset due to the fact that she brings a good amount of healing to the team, making her a good candidate for combination with Char. She has a resurrection ultimate. Additionally, many people overlook her ability to reduce the enemy's armor. The character remains relevant, powerful, and I have even started to upgrade a second copy of her. I use a regular cat as a pet to enhance her stats. She deserves a full awakening. What can I say about Ruby? She is a very decent tank in the middle stages of the campaign. However, at higher levels, she begins to lose effectiveness and works best in a team with Clara. Only then does she manage to use her screed and ultimate abilities. Personally, I prefer to use her in conjunction with Oberon to complete the game. He attracts enemies, she attracts them, and together, they form a powerful team. Oberon's sword skills are excellent, and the combination of the two characters is strong. While Ruby is useful, there are other stronger characters that can be used in the game. We often use Sandram or Stag as pets to help with certain tasks. Clint. I used to think he was a must-have character for improving the team, but with the introduction of characters like Amara, his importance has decreased slightly. However, he will still be necessary to complete the faction Tower of Babylon, as we will need two teams to do so. There are many stronger and more interesting characters available to complete the campaign, so it may not be worth investing in him from the beginning of the game. He is still worthy of consideration, but only if you have the resources to invest in him without significant cost. In general, his average build priority. As a pet, you can use the wolf to enhance its damage. Let's talk more about Onean in detail, as many beginners may not understand how to use her effectively. Her main role in PvE content is to swap places with an enemy character behind them. However, the key to success is for our shooters to engage the enemy quickly after the swap. After swapping places, Onean reduces the enemy's defense, making it easier to defeat them. This ability can also be used against large frontline characters, and it is useful in some PvP combinations due to its high survivability. I primarily use Onean in the Babylon Tower, although I rarely use her in the campaign unless it's necessary to remove a dangerous enemy from the rear. She is worth pumping, but she shouldn't be prioritized over other characters. I wouldn't fully awaken her. As a companion, I would recommend a wolf, because Griffin is too expensive for her. Irothel is a good support character that I use. Its primary damage is low, but it can still be a useful addition to a team's main damage dealers. It is best suited for use in the Babylon Tower and occasionally in the campaign. I don't think it's worth pumping for full awakening at this point, as there are stronger characters for that role. However, for the tower, it will need to be upgraded. We also use a wolf for a pet. Akai is a good tank in the mid-game. As the campaign progresses to the later chapters, he begins to lose his effectiveness, like most other tanks in the game. His shield can help him survive the initial enemy attack, and thanks to his full set of cards, he can also charge his team with energy. The main place where Akai excels is in the Babylon faction tower, which I sometimes use in the campaign to increase my team's survivability. However, his leveling priority is only for the Babylon Tower. I use Sandram as his pet. To my shame, I used to underestimate Hanabi as a character. How wrong I was. She has a great control over the energy of her opponents, which helps her pass the PvE content. Although she is not the main damage dealer, she is excellent at controlling the battlefield and joining her team. Her energy control and ultimate are excellent, and they can be further enhanced with a complete set of cards. Giving dexterity to her allies also makes her a valuable addition to any team. Leveling her up is definitely worth the effort, as she has an above-average priority in the campaign and tower. Should you decide to fully awaken her, that depends on your personal preference for the character. Personally, I would do so, but unfortunately, there are not yet enough resources available. We also use a wolf as our pet. Hayabusa is a character that continues to be a subject of controversy. He has a complete awakening on one account and performs well in team battles with Amaterasu, causing the backlines to fall from this duo in PvP battles. However, at higher levels of the game, he does not perform well as a primary damage dealer and does not provide significant buffs to his team. In current meta, I would not recommend improving him, except for the purpose of completing the Babylon faction tower. There are other characters that are stronger and more versatile than him. We often use a wolf as our pet. Luna Amara is a very strong character at the moment. Her performance should be crucial for this faction, as I consider her to be the best damage dealer in the faction to overcome the Tower of Babylon. She also performs well in team battles. She was used in the minus test in the second round, where she scored a lot of points. A buff would definitely be worthwhile, perhaps even a complete awakening. If you are impressed by this character, you can use her as a griffin pet or a wolf if this character is ordinary for you. Lapu Lapu is not a very good character in the game. You should probably just ignore him. Zilong isn't too bad, but I don't really see a use for him in the current meta, and I wouldn't recommend him to beginners, as there are other stronger characters available. Lancelot is also pretty weak, so we can forget about him too. Sunshin provides a team buff and deals a lot of damage with his ultimate, but it's not enough for me to recommend him, as there are still much stronger characters out there. Masha isn't the worst tank either, but my preference would be to upgrade 2 tanks from this faction for both teams in the Tower of Babylon. As you can see, Ruby and Akai are the 2 tanks I would go for. That's about all I wanted to say about the martial faction. Until next time.